Good afternoon. My name is Ashvik Rao and I'm presenting from Georgia. Today I'll be presenting on how artificial intelligence or AI and machine learning or ML are reshaping precision oncology and cancer diagnostics. I chose to research this topic because I'm very interested in how new technologies can revolutionize healthcare by making detection and treatment more precise and effective. My mentor for this research is Dr. Samantha Lanjawar. Cancer continues to be one of the most serious challenges in global health, and while medicine has made progress, our current treatments and detection methods still have some limitations. My goal is to show you how combining AI and ML with healthcare has so much potential to change lives. Let's start with some background. Every year, there are close to 20 million new cancer cases worldwide. That's not just a statistic, it means that every family is affected in some way, whether through a parent, a sibling, a friend, or a colleague. The issue is that many cancer treatments today are nonspecific. For example, chemotherapy often harms healthy cells alongside cancerous ones, leading to painful and exhausting side effects. Treatments can also be extremely expensive, and even after all that, they don't always succeed. This makes it clear how we need better ways of approaching cancer. We need more precise detection, earlier interventions, and treatments that are truly personalized and effective. And that's where AI and ML come in. So how do AI and ML actually help? Artificial intelligence is a broad term that describes machines performing tasks that require human intelligence. On the other hand, machine learning is a specialized branch of that AI. It learns from data and uses that learning to make future predictions. What makes AI powerful in healthcare is its ability to pull together many sources of information at once. For example, it can analyze a patient's genetic data, their imaging scans, and their electronic health records all together. It can highlight important patterns that help doctors make faster and more accurate predictions. One of the most exciting areas is cancer screening. Screening is all about detecting cancer as early as possible, before symptoms develop and before it spreads. AI systems are proving to be incredibly effective at this. For example, AI can detect fragments of tumor DNA floating in the bloodstream, reaching accuracy levels of 75 to 85%. That means cancers can be picked up even when they're too small to appear on a scan. Another method involves detecting changes in DNA methylation patterns. Methylation is a kind of chemical modification to DNA, and abnormal patterns often signal cancer. By training AI to recognize these patterns, doctors can detect tumors at a molecular level. This kind of screening opens the door to catching cancers far earlier than before. AI is also changing biomarker-based detection. Biomarkers are measurable signs in the body, like proteins or fragments of DNA that can indicate a disease. Using AI, scientists are now developing multi-cancer early detection tests that need just a single blood or urine sample. Imagine being able to test for multiple cancers at once during a routine yearly checkup. By combining protein markers with cell-free DNA, AI dramatically increases accuracy. In fact, when paired with DNA methylation analysis, AI has achieved up to 100% sensitivity and specificity in some studies. That means almost perfect detection when it identifies all cancer cases correctly and it avoids false positives in healthy individuals. Once cancer is suspected, AI also improves how it's diagnosed. AI can analyze medical images like CT or PET scans to detect genetic mutations, patterns that might be invisible to the human eye. Knowing these mutations is critical because it guides doctors in choosing the right targeted therapies. AI can also predict which patients are likely to experience treatment complications, giving doctors time to adjust their care. And importantly, researchers are working on what's called explainable AI. This means the system not only gives a diagnosis, but also explains each and every step and how it reached that conclusion. For doctors and patients, that transparency is key to building trust. AI becomes even more powerful when we look at specific cancer types. For example, AI has achieved nearly 79% accuracy in classifying tumor types. That matters because the right classification leads to the right treatment. Pancreatic cancer is a significant case. It's often called the silent killer because it rarely causes symptoms until it's advanced. By then, treatment options are limited. In this graph, we can see that the number of pancreatic cancer survivors has recently increased. AI applied to pancreatic cancer CT scans has shown great accuracy in detecting it earlier. Early detection of pancreatic cancer can mean the difference between a poor prognosis and a chance for cure. Now let's turn to treatment. A major challenge in oncology is drug resistance. Over time, cancer cells evolve and stop responding to therapy. AI can help reduce this problem by analyzing tumor biology and predicting resistance pathways. AI can also evaluate tumor angiogenesis, basically how tumors create new blood vessels to fuel their growth. By understanding this quickly, doctors can determine whether anti-angiogenic therapies will work. Finally, AI can predict patient responses to immunotherapy. Immunotherapy has been a breakthrough in recent years, but it still doesn't work for everyone. With AI, doctors can identify who is most likely to benefit, saving time and sparing patients from unnecessary side effects. When it comes to personalized therapies, AI has proven to be both powerful and cost effective. For instance, by using clinical data that hospitals already collect, like routine lab results and patient histories, AI can predict immunotherapy responses across more than 18 cancer types. This makes personalized medicine much more accessible. In kidney cancer, AI has shown success in predicting responses to anti-angiogenic drugs. And in prostate cancer, adaptive therapy guided by AI has delayed drug resistance, helping treatments remain effective for much longer. So instead of a trial and error approach, AI enables us to select the right medicine at the right time and for the right patient. The advantages of AI in cancer care are clear. It allows non-invasive, faster, and more accurate detection. It helps tailor treatments, leading to better outcomes and fewer side effects. And it gives doctors powerful tools to handle the massive amount of medical data available today. But there are still challenges. The first is data quality. If the training data is biased or incomplete, the results may be flawed. The second is interpretability. Doctors need to understand why AI makes certain predictions, otherwise, they can't rely on it in critical decisions. Finally, there are barriers around cost and clinical integration. Even the best AI tool won't make a difference if hospitals can't afford it or don't know how to use it effectively. To conclude, AI and ML are already transforming cancer care, from early detection to diagnosis to personalized therapies. Looking ahead, the potential is very large. We could see population-wide screening programs where a simple, routine blood test checks for multiple cancers at once. We could see fully personalized medicine where treatment plans are adjusted in real time as the tumor evolves. But for this future to become reality, we need to keep improving the interpretability of AI, validate its use in large clinical trials, and make sure these technologies are accessible to all patients, not just those at elite, expensive hospitals. If we can achieve that, AI has the power to completely reshape how we fight cancer and to save countless lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashvik, very much. We appreciate learning everything that you've shared about AI. In cancer specifically, one of my first questions is, can this research that you've done about AI impacting the study of the disease of cancer, can this be applied to studying other diseases as well? And how might we extrapolate that?
Yes, I chose cancer because it's a more common disease around locally, but definitely for other diseases, including HIV, AIDS, and other chronic diseases, AI could definitely be used in mostly the same ways.
That's great. Thank you so much. And actually, one of our fellow panelists, Sachi, had a question. So, Sachi, if you want to unmute yourself and ask this question, it relates to one of the challenges that you outlined, Ashvik, that the cost barrier is a concern. But Sachi, if you wanted to ask that question off mute, we can learn a bit more from our presenter here.
Yeah, so I noticed in your conclusion you also mentioned that going forward, it makes sense to be able to utilize these AI technologies more if it's like more accessible to people. How like expensive or accessible are they right now, for like the average cancer patient to be able to detect cancer?
Well, for right now, it's definitely not as accessible right now because AI, of course, there's questions in ethics. You can't just give patient information to an AI just randomly. We need to go through clinical trials and things like that before all patients can use it. But I think after clinical trials, it will definitely be very accessible to many hospitals around the world.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Now, tell us what those clinical trials might look like. For those of us who might not be aware, is this a year-long process? Is this a multi-year process? And how do these things earn approval?
Well, I think for clinical trials, it would be mostly a longer process, like multi-year, like you said, because if we're using technology, we need to make sure it's reliable and we can trust its predictions before actually using it in real patients. So we need to use like large clinical trials, like with many patients across multiple years before we can use it in actual hospitals and real patients.
That's helpful to learn. Thank you so much. Ashvik, well done. Thank you for sharing this good work. We appreciate you. Thank you for taking us along.